Hi, this is Josh with Resort TV 1, and today I'm going to show you how to ride every ride in the Magic Kingdom in one day. We hope you enjoy the video. Please remember to leave us a like and a comment as it really helps the video. Also, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to turn on notifications if you haven't already done so. So, let's get started. And as we look at Cinderella Castle on this beautiful day, you may be wondering, why would I want to ride all the rides in the Magic Kingdom in one day? Or you may be thinking, hey, yeah, let's do this, let's go. Either way, and either side that you're on, this video will be really helpful as you plan your trip, because you can leave certain rides out, or you can just get a general outline for how to do things efficiently here at the Magic Kingdom, get the most out of your time, and still have time to relax and really enjoy the park. And as we head to our first destination, any guesses on where we'll start? So to make this work, you'll need some fast passes to make your time more efficient. And again, this isn't the only method to do this, but this is the one that's worked best for us. So the first fast pass that you'll need is the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, because of course that's the most popular attraction here at the Magic Kingdom. Get that as early as possible. The second fast pass you'll need is Space Mountain. Space Mountain's also very popular, and the third fast pass you'll need is Peter Pan. So make sure you get all those fast passes. And the other tip I have on that is make sure you do those as early in the day as possible, and that way you can check for other fast passes, because you can get, after your initial 3 fast passes are used, you can actually get more fast passes after that, so you may even be able to be faster than what this video shows. So after you've got your fast passes, we're ready to go. Now you may have kind of seen where I was headed, but we're going to start the day in Adventureland. Now I didn't get here at Rope Drop, but in order to make this work, you'll need to get here right at Rope Drop, or right close to park opening, right at 9 o'clock or even before. I'd actually recommend getting here at 8:30. That way it'll save you time later. So get up a little earlier, and then you'll be able to relax a little bit later in the day. So again, we're starting in Adventureland. You need to get here as early as possible, preferably by 8:30 or 9 at the very latest. And by the way, before we show our first ride of the day, I did use this method to ride all of the rides in the Walt Disney World Resort in one day back in 2015. It was a modified version of this method, but it worked really, really well. And by the way, we're going to skip Aladdin's Magic Carpets for now. You can come back and do that second if you want, or you can skip it. Some people may not even want to do that one, but if you want to do all the rides, you got to do it. So the first ride for the day is going to be the Jungle Cruise. And that's because, number one, it's one of the first rides we come to besides the Magic Carpets. And number two, it lines up, and the line moves very slowly throughout the day. In fact, it's after 11 right now, and you can already see even the Fast Pass queue is really, really backed up. So get here first thing in the morning, and come to this ride first, and you should be able to walk right on it, because everybody else heads for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Space Mountain, and all points beyond. Most people do not head to Jungle Cruise first, so we're trying to avoid the crowds, so we're going to go on Jungle Cruise first. And as I said, if you want to do all the rides, you have to do Aladdin's Magic Carpet, so you can do that second just because it's right here. It doesn't take very long, and usually the line isn't very long. Or you can try and come back later, but it gets pretty busy in the afternoon. So I would recommend, if you're going to do all the rides, go ahead and do that right now, or get a fast pass for later after your initial 3 are gone. So we're continuing around the Magic Kingdom in a clockwise fashion, and the third ride we come to, if you did the Aladdin's Magic Carpet second, the third ride we come to is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean. So go ahead and get on that now, because it lines up quite a bit in the middle of the day, and we used our fast passes on other rides. Or if you want to fast pass it later, you can, but I recommend as little walking as possible. So do Pirates of the Caribbean because it's right here, and there should be little to no wait if you're still early in the morning and you've gone only on 2 rides so far. So continuing around the Magic Kingdom in a clockwise fashion, next ride you come to, the 4th ride of the day, is going to be Splash Mountain. And I recommend going on Splash Mountain and then Big Thunder Mountain next, because you can dry off on Big Thunder. And again, early in the day here, shouldn't take very long to do all these rides here in this area, so early in the day, shouldn't be much wait, should be able to get right on. And as I mentioned earlier, the next ride, or the 5th ride of the day, will be Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And right now it's 70 minutes because it's about 11:30, but you will be here way before that if you do the rides in the order that I have stated so far. So, be Splash Mountain and then Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. And again, there should be little to no wait if you're here first thing in the morning. And of course, Tom Sawyer Island is right by Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, but I recommend saving this until later, because it does take some time to explore the island, and you can do that in the afternoon. When it's a little warmer, the island is shady, and the caves across the way here are cool. So we're going to keep moving for now. Do this later. So here we are at the Liberty Square Riverboat. And we're not going to ride that right now either because it actually usually doesn't get crowded during the day, and it's a nice break from the heat because it's nice and shady and breezy. So we're going to pass by the Riverboat for now. All right, so our next ride for the day is going to be the Haunted Mansion. So you're going to come all the way over from Big Thunder Mountain Railroad straight to the Haunted Mansion, and you'll ride that. And again, shouldn't be take too long as you haven't had any technical difficulties or breakdowns. You should be able to ride Haunted Mansion fairly quickly as well. Even if it's a 10 or 15 minute wait, it shouldn't take too long to get through here. And as I walk through the tangled area here, I want to remind you that I'm not doing this video in order or at the times that I'm suggesting just because of when I got to the park today. So if you see wait times that are really, really long, this is not representative of what you would be doing if you got here early in the day. Also, we will be using this method. If we get to 30,000 subscribers here in the next couple weeks, we will be using this method to ride every ride in Magic Kingdom in one day on a live stream. So we will see how this works in real time. But for now, it's a little bit easier to watch this in a compact video to see just exactly how you can ride every ride, or at least most of the rides in the Magic Kingdom. Also, we're going to save shows for later in the afternoon. May not be time for all the shows, but you can pick a few to get cooled off in the afternoon. So after you're finished with Haunted Mansion, you're going to come over here and ride Small World. So that'll be the 7th ride of the day, Small World. And again, shouldn't be too crowded first thing in the morning. So go ahead and come on over here and ride Small World. Now remember I said we were going to be doing Peter Pan on a Fast Pass, but if you really want to do this efficiently, you can actually make your Peter Pan Fast Pass for around 10:30 to 11:30, if that's available when you make it. And that way, it should be about 10:30 or 11:30 when you do this. So you'll be right here after Small World, and you can ride Peter Pan's Flight. And after Peter Pan's Flight, if you want to grab some lunch either at Pinocchio's Village House or around the corner here at Columbia Harbor House, that might be a good time to grab some lunch. So if you were able to get your Peter Pan Fast Pass for 10:30 to 11:30, that was your 8th ride. If not, you can do it later. Here's Pinocchio right next door here. Like I said, Harbor House is around the corner if you want to eat lunch. After lunch is kind of the heat of the day, so you can start doing some indoor attractions if you'd like. PhilharMagic is great. You can do that. It shouldn't be too much of a wait. And even though this is not technically a ride, it's a great show, and there's no wait right now. And it's 12 o'clock, so it'll be about the time that you are doing this, so just kind of keep that in mind. And either before or after the PhilharMagic, you can ride the Golden Carousel over here, or Prince Charming's Regal Carousel, sorry. It used to be Cinderella's Golden Carousel. I'm still stuck in the past. So if you do the carousel, that'll be your 9th ride of the day, and even though it's lined up right now, shouldn't take too long to get through and around, or you can save it for later. Depends on if you want to walk back here and do it again or not, or you can even skip it. It's up to you. So after the carousel, you have some choices. If Little Mermaid is not too long, you can actually go over to New Fantasyland and ride Little Mermaid, and that's not too bad. Now, if you're able to plan your Fast Passes really early, and you can get your pick of the times for the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, if you can have your Seven Dwarfs Mine Train pass scheduled for about 11:30 or 12, somewhere around that. That'll give you an hour to ride it, and you can do it while you're over here and won't have to walk back for it. So that'll be Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. So we're going to assume that you went ahead and got your Seven Dwarfs Mine Train Fast Pass and that that's done. And that will be ride number 10. And now we can head over and do the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and still shouldn't be too bad of a wait. Now you can save this for later if the line is long. And actually right now it looks like it's 45 minutes, so you might save this one for later. It just depends on the day. Now personally, I don't like to wait in line, so I would keep going and come back later. Actually later in the day, some of these smaller rides actually get less crowded. Now, however, you could do the Mad Tea Party, and even here in the middle of the day, it's afternoon right now, and the Mad Tea Party is still only 15 minutes. So actually, that's a pretty easy wait time for this. So you can do the Mad Tea Party. It's in the shade, the wait's in the shade. It's a little warm, but you can still get it done. So let's say that you did that, and that would be ride number 11. So I'm going to recommend bypassing New Fantasyland for now. Dumbo is going to be a pretty long wait, so you can do it later in the evening. However, if you do have small kids and they want to play in the little play area there, as long as you can get into the play area, it is nice and cool. Parents have an air-conditioned place to sit, and the kids have a place to play so that they don't get upset and impatient during the wait for the ride. So if you want to head over there and do that, you can, but we're going to assume that you're going to keep going and try it later. All right, now the Speedway, I would also leave till later. This is a ride that gets very, very busy throughout the day. So I would recommend actually saving this for later in the evening where it's nice and cool in the queue and it's nice and cool on the ride. So let's bypass this for right now for sure. By the way, if you'd rather have a hamburger for lunch, you can stop here at Cosmic Rays right on your way by the Speedway. So now that we're in Tomorrowland, you're probably wondering when you should plan your Space Mountain Fast Pass for. And I would say around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Probably about 2 o'clock just to be safe, and it'll give you an hour to ride it. And the cool thing is there's a lot of things to do in Tomorrowland that don't have a lot of wait that you can do in the afternoon while you wait for your Space Mountain Fast Pass. So let's assume that you are here a little bit early and that you need to wait a little bit for your Space Mountain Fast Pass. The first thing that I would do is actually head over here to the People Mover. And of course, everybody that's watched our channel knows that the People Mover is my favorite attraction, so I would ride it multiple times in one day. And you still have time to do that with this plan. But I would go ahead and ride the People Mover now, and while you're waiting for your Space Mountain Fast Pass. So I believe that would be ride number 12. Now the People Mover does have a little bit of a wait now, but it shouldn't take more than 15 minutes at the very most. So that'll be your probably one of your least long line attractions at the time right now, and it's mostly in the shade, so it's not too bad of a wait, so go ahead and do that now. However, right next to that is the Astral Orbiter, and actually it's on top of the building here, but the line is right next to it. I would wait until later for that. The Astral Orbiter line moves very, very slow. They have to fit people into an elevator, and there's only a certain number of people that can ride the attraction. I would do Astral Orbiter later in the evening because it's a very frustrating attraction to wait for, and there's no fast pass for it. So after you're finished riding the People Mover, I would recommend riding, because yes, technically in my opinion it's a ride since it does move, recommend riding the Carousel of Progress. Now some people call it a show, I do call it a ride because it does move. Anyway, I would ride this. It's a nice 20 or 25 minute long attraction. You can get in the shade, get in the air conditioning and cool down, and wait for your Space Mountain Fast Pass. So we're going to assume that you did that next and you're still waiting for Space Mountain. So that will be ride number 13 for the day. Alright, so after the Carousel of Progress, we're going to assume that your Space Mountain Fast Pass is ready to go. So, we'll come over here and ride Space Mountain. Now that may take a little bit of time, even though you have a Fast Pass. Right now the standby is 105 minutes, so definitely wouldn't do a standby line right now if you didn't get a Fast Pass. We would definitely do this later in the evening. But it shouldn't take more than a half an hour to do this, maybe 20 to 25 minutes, depending on how long the line is inside the attraction. And it's air conditioned as well, so you can stay cool. So Space Mountain is ride number 14. So while you're in line for Space Mountain, one thing that you should do is look on your app for Fast Passes for other attractions, because once you scan your band at the first Fast Pass location as you come into Space Mountain, you can actually start looking for your 4th Fast Pass of the day. So remember, you have to use all 3 Fast Passes first, then you can start looking for your 4th Fast Pass, and look for rides obviously that you haven't done yet. So I would actually start looking for Buzz Lightyear and see if there's any Buzz Lightyear Fast Passes, since we're really close to that right now. If you can get a Buzz Lightyear Fast Pass in the next few minutes, maybe you can find a place to chill out and then go ride Buzz. So we're going to assume that you were able to get a Buzz Lightyear Fast Pass within the next several minutes. And remember, you can actually change the order of things. If your Space Mountain Pass was earlier, you got to get that done. You could actually go on the Carousel Progress while you wait for Buzz Lightyear. So it's totally up to you how you do it, but just kind of keep the basic ideas in mind. So we're going to go on Buzz Lightyear as ride number 15 of the day. And if you weren't able to get a Fast Pass, again, just come back and do it later. And after Buzz Lightyear, you can do Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor, which is only a 25-minute wait right now. So that's not too bad, even here after 12 o'clock. So, which for you, it'll be later in the day, of course. But I would recommend going and doing Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor, because most of the queue's inside, and you can do this attraction and stay cool. So after Stitch's Great Escape, we are going to head out of Tomorrowland. And if you didn't get any attractions, just kind of keep track of them, and you can do them later. But the other thing you're going to do all day long, since now your 3 fast passes are finished, is you're going to keep checking for fast passes to the attractions you haven't done yet. Or if you want to really have an awesome day and you want to do a ride more than once, look for a ride that you want to do again. Totally up to you. So we're going to assume it's about 4 o'clock now, maybe even close to 5, depending on the lines that you've had to experience. So if you want to get something to eat here at the Tomorrowland Terrace, or you can head on down to another restaurant. Totally up to you. This is even just a great place to get a snack. If you like to eat later at night, you can go get a snack here. It's nice and cool, and it's got a great view. All right, so now we're heading down towards Main Street, USA. And remember, we haven't gone out of our way to do anything yet. We've pretty much just done a clockwise loop of the Magic Kingdom. And remember, most people start on the right side of the park, which is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train as well as Space Mountain. So we kind of went opposite of that, and that helped us out to get a lot of attractions on the left side of the park done first. So as we head down Main Street, remember you're going to be continuing to look on your My Disney Experience app so that you can find fast passes to the attractions you haven't done yet. And the one I would really be looking for right now is either Dumbo, or you could start looking for the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, or the Little Mermaid. And usually all those attractions you can find fast passes the same day for. They don't usually run out of fast passes unless it's like holiday season or something. So keep looking for those and go back and do them as necessary. You may be wondering why we came down here to Main Street, and the answer is because we are going to ride the Walt Disney World Railroad all the way around the park. It's a nice relaxing ride. Before you do, make sure you check out this amazing lobby area here with the penny arcade machines. And then you can go ride the Walt Disney World Railroad. And you can really fit this ride in any time during the day. And you can ride it all the way around. Or you can ride it back over to either Frontierland or New Fantasyland or Tomorrowland. So those are the 3 stops here: Main Street, Frontierland, and New Fantasyland, which also serves Tomorrowland. So you can use this as transportation through an area of the park you haven't done yet. For instance, if you got a Little Mermaid Fast Pass, then you could actually take this ride all the way over to New Fantasyland, and you'd be right by the Little Mermaid. And by the way, if you're counting, that train was ride number 16 for the day. And this is a great picture spot here from the train station platform, so make sure you check that out as well. All right, so we're going to assume that you did what I like to do, and that's to ride the train all the way around to enjoy just a relaxing ride around the Magic Kingdom. So we're back on Main Street now, and we're still looking for fast passes for some of our attractions that we haven't done yet. It should be after dinner time by now, probably between 5 and 7, depending on how fast you went and how many breaks and how long for meals. So, and you can do these at your own pace, especially if you're here at a time when the park is open till 11 or 12. You'll have time later in the evening. That, of course, depends on if you have kids, how long at night that they last, and before they need to go home, go back to the hotel and go to bed, things like that. So it should be about 6 or 7 o'clock by now, depending on how fast you've been able to move through the attractions. And let's say that your fast passes for the other rides later in the night, whether it be Little Mermaid or whether it be Dumbo or Winnie the Pooh, are a little later. So what you can do is come to one of these shows over here on this side. So Hall of Presidents is a great show. You can come and watch in the air conditioning. I believe it's about 20 minutes long. So go check out Hall of Presidents. So depending on how much time you have and how many shows you want to watch, you can skip Hall of Presidents and come over here to the Country Bear Jamboree. And Country Bear Jamboree, of course, being a classic attraction, just like Hall of Presidents here at the Magic Kingdom. So it just depends on what you want to see. They're both air-conditioned. They're both about 20 minutes long, and so you can do either one or both. Totally up to you. And if you want to do Country Bears and you still have time for another show, you can head over here just through this breezeway right next to Country Bears over to the Enchanted Tiki Room. So you can do the Tiki Room if you'd like as well. So again, it just depends on what you want to do and how much time you have. And if you missed the Aladdin's Magic Carpets earlier, you can also pick that up now as well. And later in the evening, now closer to 7 or 8 o'clock, it shouldn't have too much of a wait. And by the way, I'm realizing that I forgot to come back and get Tom Sawyer Island as well as the Liberty Square Riverboat. So I might recommend doing that. Usually Tom Sawyer Island closes at dusk, so try and pick that up maybe before the train. So it's totally up to you. Again, you can skip the attraction or you can go on it if you want to get all of them. I would probably go on this before the train and possibly the Riverboat. Now the Riverboat's not in operation right now, it's under refurbishment, but maybe by the time you're here it will be back in operation. So I'd recommend Tom Sawyer and then the Riverboat and then the railroad. So that would make Tom Sawyer ride number 16 and then the Riverboat number 17, and the train would actually be number 18. So I would probably amend my earlier plan there. And then you can go back and do the shows that I just showed you. So sorry for the mistake there, but I didn't want to go back and do everything that I had just done again. So apologize for the mistake, but I think you understand kind of the complexity of doing this. And like I said, you can pick several different options here. This is just kind of a blueprint for what you can do to ride all the rides in one day. All right, so we should be back on track now. Sorry about the little rewind we had to do to go back and get those other two attractions, but now we're going to go back to the fact that we just watched some shows over here, whether it be Hall of Presidents, Country Bear Jamboree, or the Enchanted Tiki Room. So you've watched one or all of those attractions, and now it's probably a little after 8 o'clock, and it should be about time to head down to Main Street to get a spot for Happily Ever After. And Happily Ever After is usually around 9 or 9:15, so I would get a spot at least 30 minutes early. If you get it any later than that, I would think that maybe you might not be able to get in. Sometimes if it's really crowded, they will close the walkways down close to Main Street. So I would go at least a half an hour before the show starts. Now, if you don't want to watch Happily Ever After, you can go ride rides a second time, or you can go pick up the end of the rides here in the Magic Kingdom and you'll be finished for the day. So it's totally up to you. But for now, we're saying that a lot of people really like the fireworks, so we're going to go watch Happily Ever After at this point. And again, I apologize that this video is not in real time. I have used this method before a few different times and it works very, very well. You just have to adjust depending on the day and the crowds, but the blueprint works very, very well. So we will be trying this though on a live stream when we hit 30,000, and just to show you in real time that it does work. And so after the fireworks, after Happily Ever After, or if you've chosen not to watch them, go ahead and come on over here and let's ride Winnie the Pooh. And it shouldn't be too busy after the fireworks. If you hurry on over here, get out of the Main Street area any way you can, and then head on over here to the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. All right, so the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh will be ride number 19 on our list. And now we're going to head over to New Fantasyland to do Dumbo and the Little Mermaid. All right, so we made it over here to Dumbo, and this will be ride number 20 for the day, unless you did it earlier. And I would recommend doing it at night, actually. I know I'm not filming it at night right now, but I'd recommend doing it at night because it's very beautiful at night. The fountains around the attraction on both sides are just amazing. So very beautiful, the lights and the fountains and everything at night. It's a very pretty area. So Dumbo will be ride number 20. All right, so after riding Dumbo, we're going to come over here and ride the Little Mermaid. So that will be ride number 21. Little Mermaid, and it shouldn't be too long of a wait. At night it should be 9 or 9:30 by now, maybe even later, probably even closer to 10 maybe, but it's 15 minutes here at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. I always forget the official name of the ride, but you can come ride this, or if you got a fast pass for it earlier, you'll already have it finished. So now we're going to head into Tomorrowland and finish up there. All right, so the next ride is going to be the Tomorrowland Speedway. So that will be ride number 22. And usually by this time it's not too bad, so ride number 22, the Tomorrowland Speedway. By the way, another benefit to riding the Speedway later at night, should be about 10 o'clock by now, is that it's nice and cool on the track and in the queue. So, just some tips. I definitely wouldn't ride the Speedway now at about 1 o'clock or 2 in the afternoon here. So, definitely this is a nighttime attraction. All right. Ride number 23 and the last ride of the day is the Astral Orbiter. High atop Rocket Tower Plaza here in Tomorrowland, the Astral Orbiter. Now you get on the attraction here at these elevators, and keep in mind, it gets really crowded during the day like it is right now, because everybody has to wait for the elevators and then for their turn onto the ride. So at night, it's a lot less crowded, but you still probably will have to wait. But if you want to do all the rides at the Magic Kingdom, this is one of them. So, Astral Orbiter, number 23. It's a great view of the park too, whether you do it in the day or the night. Now if you're thinking, don't really want to end my epic day at the Magic Kingdom riding all the rides on the Astral Orbiter, then maybe you do like me and ride the TTA People Mover again. That's what I'd recommend if there's time. And if the park closes at 11, you should have time to get all that in. If it closes earlier, you may have to hurry a little more or omit a few things. That's totally up to you and your time frame. But I would ride the People Mover and finish the day with that. Alright, well yay, you did it! You rode all the rides in the Magic Kingdom in one day. Congratulations! So if you use this plan and it works, please make sure you leave us a comment. And who knows, maybe we'll even send you a little something for completing the achievement. Maybe send us some selfies or something to show yourself on the ride and things like that. Or if you've used a plan similar to this, let us know in the comments. Also, if you have a completely different plan, let us know that in the comments as well, because there's no right or wrong way to do this. This is just the way that works for us, and we enjoy doing it this way. So, again, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure that you leave us a like, because that really helps the video, and subscribe again if you haven't already done so. We appreciate that. Also, be sure to check out our sponsors, MickeyBlog.com and MickeyTravels.com for the best in free Disney vacation planning advice. Also, make sure to check out WindowRepairParts.us and use the coupon code ResortTV1 for 20% off your purchase at Window Repair Parts. So for now, have a great big beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye. Now that you've finished watching this video, be sure that you're subscribed so that you can get all of the latest updates. Also, check out some other great videos on our channel. Have a great big beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.